Hello, I'm Aprille Walker from the Yoga Ranger Studio, and today's Yin AM practice is about looking at the shoulders and the upper back and getting some release in those areas. So our Yin AM classes are basically a class about 30 minutes long, preferably used in the morning to help you gain more mobility and strength from Yin, but can also be used any time of day. So feel free to use them any time of day. But because they're nice and short and convenient, they work really great in the morning. So only things you're going to need today, just potentially, you always want to have a blanket underneath just for comfort because we hold these poses for so long. A second blanket or a rolled up towel, and a block just in case you need it. So we're going to start in quarter dog. So what you want to do is you want to take your feet about hip distance apart, your knees about hip distance apart. Shift your hips down so you're in cow tilt. Walk your hands out a little bit, and you're going to cross that right hand down, rest your forehead on it. Walk that left hand out. So if this is a lot of stretch for your back, you can always kind of take some of the curve and the back bend out of it. I like this pose for that purpose, to get the curve in, and I want to stretch my arms out and shoulders out a little bit. You can always put that extra blanket underneath your knees if you have knees that are a little bit tender. And if this is a lot and you need some support, you can take the block underneath your chest or underneath your forehead, and that'll give you a little bit more lift away from the floor. Begin to lengthen your inhale and exhale, settle yourself in the space. Think about releasing those shoulders away from the ears. Just about 7 more breaths here. Slowly start to walk that left hand back in. Come back up onto hands and knees. A little bit of cat-cow here. So drop the belly down, roll the shoulders down the back and pull them together. Then exhale, arch and round. Round up that space in between the shoulder blades. And reverse back down. 2, 3 more at your own breath pace, nice and slow. We try to take a little break in between each one of the Yin postures to give your body time to come back to neutral, to settle back into place, and for you to become more aware of the sensations of the poses after they have happened. So walk your hands out a little bit further again. Take that left hand, cross it in front of you. Rest your forehead on the forearm and walk your right hand out a little bit further. Once again, adjusting your props however you may need them. Block underneath the chest. Back a little bit straighter and less of a back bend. So as always in Yin, you want to take yourself to 2/3 of your maximum. So not as far as you could go, but a little bit short of that, because we hold these poses anywhere from 1 to 8 minutes. So I generally try in the Yin AM classes to stay with a 2 to 3 minute hold time. Most people in Yin start with a 2 to 3 minute hold. That's a comfortable starting point for a while. If you feel any stretching sensation or pulling sensation or tension, that is perfectly normal. But if you feel a sharp shooting pain or a pain that causes you to inhale quickly or not be able to breathe as well, you want to come out of the pose and either just take child's pose or just rest, belly down on the floor for a few breaths. Gently start to walk that right hand back in. Press back up onto hands and knees, back to your cat-cow tilt. Two more with your own breath pace. And then come all the way down onto your belly. So we're going to take twisted rope here. I'm going to offer you a couple of choices. You can take single, which is right hand out in front, left hand underneath, and start to lower your head down to the floor. You're going to tuck that shoulder blade underneath. You can rest your forehead on a block or a blanket. Turn your palm face up or face down. Gently lift your head, start to walk your right hand back in. And go ahead and just turn your head to the right. Let your arms come out to the side. Gently lift back up to center. Take that left hand out in front of you. Lift up just a little bit. Tuck that right arm underneath. So roll the shoulder down instead of keeping it really high up. Roll it down a little bit. Rest your forehead on the floor. Palm faces up or down. Walk that left hand out a little bit further. Also lift your head, walk that left hand back in. Take that arm out, turn your head to the left, rest your arms out to the side. Take a few breaths here. And then just take your hands underneath your shoulders and come all the way back up. So a couple of options for this next pose. You can take child's pose with your knees wide and take the twist, or you can take full thread the needle, which is hips over knees. We're going to start on the right side. So you're going to take that left hand down the middle, right hand's going to shift all the way underneath your head down to the floor. You can take that left leg out as well to give yourself a little prop. Child's pose is a great option if this hurts your neck or bothers your neck. I like to take in this pose my fingers up into cupcake and twist a little bit further. Letting my right arm just relax, the right shoulder release. If you feel really comfortable in this pose, you can always take that left hand around behind you. Wherever you're at, pull that left hand back in. Pull your left leg in. If it's out, come back to center and just settle into child's pose for a breath or two. Extended child's pose, hands out in front of you, forehead hanging down. And rocking forward, we're going to switch sides. So take that right hand straight down the middle, hips over the knees or child's pose. Take that left hand, curve it underneath. Walk your right fingers out to the side. You can always take that right foot out to the side as well. Once again, cupcake fingers or otherwise. You can also take that right hand around behind you or palm to palm. So if you are new to Yin, Yin focuses on connective tissue, cold tissue, what we consider to be joints, ligaments, bone. Connective tissue is throughout your body, interwoven in the fabric of your organs, your muscles, your bones, surrounding everything and tying everything together. The idea for Yin is to help mobilize these areas as well as make them a little stronger. And by putting a little bit of carefully planned stress on these cold tissues, we help them become a little bit stronger, build a little bit more. Just about 4 more deep breaths. Start to walk that right hand back in, bring that right leg out, back in. If it's out, to come back to center. Knees closer together, come back into your child's pose. So go ahead and rock forward and grab hold of your blanket that you had over here. And we're going to take it, I'm going to roll it up the short ways. Take that blanket crossways on your mat. You're going to lay yourself down. And I like to start with it right at the base of my shoulder blades and then start to just wiggle a little bit up so that the tops of my shoulders or shoulder blades barely touch the floor. Arms out to the side. I like a little bit of an angle versus just straight out, but kind of find what works for you. This is a lot for your back. You can always bend your knees, bend your elbows. And you want to just feel like the top of your vertebrae, the bottom of your neck bones are just touching, the backs of your shoulder blades are just touching the floor. Just breathe into the upper back. Maybe after a few breaths you find you can take your hands up a little higher. This is a great version of supported fish, allowing you to get that opening in the throat and the chest, upper back and shoulders. Just 10 more deep breaths. Very gently bend your knees, bring the bottoms of your feet flat to the floor. Take your left hand out to the left, roll a little bit over to your left, and take that right hand up and overhead. 5 breaths here. And then roll back onto your back. Take that right hand out to the right. Drop those knees over to the right. Left hand goes up and over. Fingertips down. Then bring that left hand down, roll up just enough to pull your blanket out to the side. And come back down onto your back. Take a breath or two here. Notice the sensations in the upper back, shoulders, moving almost up into the neck area. Then taking your left leg out straight, you're going to bring your right knee into your chest, give it a little squeeze. Take that left hand to the outside of the knee, right arm out to the right. You're going to twist over to the left. You can turn and look straight up or look over your right fingertips. Beginning to feel that right shoulder get a little bit heavier toward the floor. Inhale, come back to center. Hug that right knee in, and you're going to switch legs. Hug that left knee into your chest. Take that right hand to the outside of the knee and pull it over to that right side. Left arm goes out to the left. Feeling it get heavier and heavier. Inhale, coming back to center. Hug that knee into the chest. Go ahead and bring both knees in. Stretch those legs out, arms up overhead. Stretch through your fingertips, stretch through your toes. And then take your arms out to the side, heels wide on your mat, just for a minute or two of Shavasana. Tucking the shoulder blades underneath. Gently rocking the head side to side. And then letting it settle. Begin to walk those heels back in together. Take the arms up over the head. Stretch the fingers and toes again. And then exhale, roll over to your right side. Take a breath or two here. And then gently make your way up to whatever seated position you like best. Keeping your eyes closed or open, take your hands palms up or palms down onto your knees. On an exhale, drop your fingertips down to the floor. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way up overhead. Open your eyes, look up at your palms. Exhale, hands to heart. Peace and namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me here today. I hope you enjoy these Yin AM classes. Please don't forget, if you enjoyed this practice, to look down below and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I upload a new video every Friday morning, bright and early. And I hope to see you again on the mat.